We're here at Geekin Out. I'm your host, Moose. This is Uncle Tony co-hosting it up here. Today we're going to be talking about Thrawn book. Came out a while ago, but we just finally finished it up, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Do a book review.
Yay!
Yay, book
As
review.
usual, follow us at all the Instagrams and Facebooks and all that happy stuff. YouTube, if you just search for Geekin Out Network, you'll find us. Twitter is Geekin Out Network without a K, because Twitter loves to not give us enough letters. Email us at geekinoutnetwork@outlook.com and check out our website, geekinoutpodcast.com. All right, so I'm going to get right into it.
All right. You want me to start with the characters?
Sure, you can go ahead.
I went old school and I wrote my notes on paper.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I know,
so
it's weird.
Good. Moving back in time instead.
Yeah. So, coming back from the last book, we got Commander Farrow, or Commodore Farrow. She's in a pretty decent chunk of this book, mostly in the more with the Darth Vader era.
Right.
We got Eli Banto. Now we know that if you read the last book, he went to the Chiss Ascendancy to make contact for Thrawn or something. They kind of left that open. They didn't really, but in this book they just said, "Oh, he disappeared," and they didn't really talk about it much more after that.
He did make contact with them though at the end of the book.
Banto did.
Yeah.
At the end of the last book.
Out of this book, the Thrawn book.
Oh, so what happened there?
He went to the coordinates that Thrawn gave him or whatever, and there was a Chiss lady, I think, that answered the call and was like, "Oh, you're the one that he told you were coming for."
Was that
Might have been the epilogue or something. I don't know.
Admiral Ara Lani.
That sounds familiar. I don't know offhand
that her?
exactly the name, but
All right.
But yeah, there definitely was it's probably like the same thing that happened in the other books.
All right.
That just they push forward.
Also, Hruk is back. The what are those guys called? Nogri.
Nogri, yes.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Nubian for some reason. I was like, that's not it at all.
He's a Nogri, which is old school from like Legends and whatnot from the original Thrawn books. And technically, chronologically, this is Rook's first appearance. So in canon,
right.
Where actually the first time we saw him was on the Rebels show.
Yep.
But technically, this happens just before season 4 and after season 3, where Thrawn had all those defeats at the hands of our
defeats that we're really learning.
Yeah.
Chances or whatever.
So those characters, those are Timothy Zahn's characters, but also Padme, Anakin, and Darth Vader in this book. And the book is broken up into 2 timelines. There's Clone Wars and what'd you call that? The Dark Times, where the Rebels and whatnot. And I think it happens I think that part happens like a little bit after, like I was saying, season 3 of Rebels, something like that. I think I'm close. But
I don't remember the exact timeline, but it's probably right in there.
It's something like that.
Because that's when they started locking down Lothal and everything around that time. So,
but also like, there's parts in the book where Darth Vader, like, I wouldn't say like every chance he gets, but like when it arises, he doesn't like shy away from poking at Thrawn, saying, "Oh, what about when you let the Jedi get away, King Jarrus, and what about on that planet where you got your ass handed to you, and the mysterious Bindu guy? Yeah, I'm sure that was real.
Yeah.
You just made that shit up, right? I wanted to not swear because this was a book review, and I was hoping kids would watch it, but I guess we're past that now. All right,
we're gonna start over.
We don't have time. I gotta go pick up my kids.
Speaking of kids,
so how did you feel about this book overall?
I thought it was pretty good. The original Thrawn. Well, I go back to Thrawn Trilogy.
Yeah.
Which I can't really remember all of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But this is the second of the 2. I don't know if they're gonna plan on making another one or not. Because they had the regular Thrawn book, they had the Alliances, and then who the hell knows what they're going to do next.
Well, we got the Grisk the invaders.
Yeah, it's like seems like the Yuuzhan Vong sort of thing.
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah. So there's probably gonna be more with them later, right?
I think not talk too much about them because we're a book review, but
Yeah.
I think it was a good premise of the Yuuzhan Vong. They just like I guess it seemed like it was too long as far as like I think there was like 19 books or something in the series, like something ridiculous.
Oh, the whole war?
Yeah.
Yeah. I read a lot of that, but not all of it.
I mean, people were like complaining about, oh, their armor magically stops fucking lightsabers and their weapons.
Yeah.
But then I go back to the Darth Bane books where he had the Orbalisk, so there's obviously things in the galaxy that can stop lightsabers, so it's not that far-fetched.
Right.
And if you're going to do an invasion, you're going to figure out who the strongest fighters are or whatever, and that's the Jedi or the Sith that use lightsabers. So why are you not going to friggin' build up to that? You know what I mean? So it's like
I think
not convenient. It's strategic. You know.
I definitely get the impression that the Grisk are probing for weak spots in the fence,
Right.
sort of thing.
I know before, not to cut you off, but I know before Snoke's demise or whatever, people were theorying that he was like a part of that.
This is part of my notes too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I jumped the gun.
No. This
we were talking about, so I'll bring it up.
So like they're alluding to like a bigger threat coming from, another part of the galaxy. It definitely has like parallels to the Yuuzhan Vong. And I was going to bring that up too. Like that's another thing that they were talking about. Like that's why Palpatine was building up, because something big was coming from the unknown regions. So getting to Snoke, is there some kind of correlation between Snoke and the Grisk?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Either way, there's shit.
I mean, the Palpatine nor Snoke really ever said like, oh, more Palpatine, I guess I could say, never said, oh, I'm building up to be ready for this fucking invasion that's coming in the movies and novels, etc. Right. Until like they decided to throw this timeline in. So to me, it sort of like waters down his character a little bit, because he portrays as like a fucking evil Sith that wants to take control of the galaxy. Like not necessarily that he wants to take control of the galaxy to protect the galaxy from this invasion force that he knows is coming. So it's sort of like, to me at least, sort of makes him look like a fucking, not a schmuck, but that sort of line, I guess.
I guess so.
Because then he seems like almost a savior of the galaxy instead of like trying to be controlling of it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's all in your perspective.
Yeah.
How you look at it, and I'm sure that would be part of the propaganda that would go out after the fact and that sort of thing. Anyway, but
then that waters down Thrawn's whole thing too, if that's not the case.
So who is the big bad? Is it the Grisk? Is it Snoke?
Because he obviously mentions it in both books.
Are they connected? I think I don't know. Either way, all this would have to happen after the new movies. Like after Snoke and whatever.
Right.
Whatever's going to happen with Kylo Ren and whatnot.
Well, before Snoke's demise or whatever, death or murder or whatever you want to fucking say, there was to sort of go on that same theory he was part of this or something like that. It was going to be a theory, again, I don't really agree with it, but just to throw it out there to get a talking point, that Kylo Ren and everyone was going to realize there was a bigger threat, and like the First Order, the Republic, the New Republic, whatever, was going to all team up and have to fight this thing together. And that was going to be like the third movie, which would have been fucking pretty cool and an awesome spin on things. But obviously with Snoke dead, I mean, it could still happen, but I doubt, the way they're going, I doubt it's going to be that way.
So basically where it is now, we got the Resistance is forming, fledgling, maybe like in the next
its last
movie.
legs, it seems like.
But like a new one is going to start. Like that's the spark. That's what's coming next, I'm guessing, right? So, but also the new Empire, the First Order, is that they're kind of like fracturing now. They're not what they were. They're not as cohesive as they were in the first couple of movies.
Yeah, there's definitely a power struggle between Zux and Ren.
Yeah, right. So I think what's going to happen, like in spite of the fact that I think what's going to happen is if the Grisk come in at this point they're gonna find easy pickings, not easy pickings on the New Order. The New Order is going to be like tough to deal with, but the fact that they're structured and not focused behind one leader, really, I think that's going to be their downfall. And then like the Resistance isn't going to. I think the Resistance is going to come in and try to like. I think maybe they'll come in and save the day by the end, but I think you're probably right on that other thing. Maybe they will kind of come together.
Yeah, maybe
to fight the
they'll have to.
Because I wasn't thinking that. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Like that was my whole how I thought it was going to come together. But once you say that, like it kind of makes sense.
I sort of hope they come together for the simple fact of not making it the same as like the original trilogy in a way. Not the prequels, but the original that came out, and saying, "Oh, okay, the Jedi all of a sudden win at the end. Yeah. Everything's fucking great." It'd be cool to throw in a friggin' curveball or something and be like, "Oh well, we need to work together to stop other fucking worse shit going on, and somehow come to a compromise of how things should run in the galaxy." But I doubt they're gonna go that way. I don't think they're gonna.
So to get back to the book. I like this book too, but I gotta say, I really don't want to talk bad about this guy, but the guy that narrates this book, he just kills me. Like his portrayal of Padme-ness is kind of whiny and kiddish, and like, oh, but Anakin, and like his voice for Anakin is kind of terrible too. He's not that great of an actor because basically, when you're narrating a book, you're acting out the parts of this book.
I mean, that's the one problem with audiobooks. It's, usually the same person doing the things.
Yeah, he does a lot of Star Wars books. Like, I feel conflicted about this because I don't want to like shit all over this guy, but I've listened to so many books of his, and I'm just kind of like, ugh, I can't take him anymore. The one saving grace from this guy's performance is Thrawn.
Yeah, he does Thrawn
because
very well.
It is flawless. It sounds exactly like Thrawn from the cartoon.
Yeah.
And like that's Thrawn for me now. You know what I'm saying? So like he does kind of redeem himself a little bit with Thrawn. And like there's parts of listening to this book where it's like I only want to hear Thrawn interacting with Darth Vader. That's all I want. Like
that's why you picked up the book. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
to speak, so.
No, I mean, just because like he kind of ruins Padme and Anakin for me. I'm just like I don't even want to be part of this book, this part of the book. But other than that, there's some cool shit that went down in this book. Overall, I like the book, and I think there's some cool shit that went down. So like, you ever heard like they talk about in the I'm not sure how they pronounce it, the Marg Sable maneuver, which is where they take the ship and flip it on its side so the spaceships come out. So this originally happened in the old school Legend Thrawn books. Thrawn did it. Mm-hmm. All right. So,
he did it in sort of the first Thrawn book,
right? So
as well,
but technically, historically, chronologically, Ahsoka did it first in the Clone Wars.
Was it Ahsoka or Anakin?
I don't know.
It did happen in the Clone Wars. I do remember that episode.
100%, so like I'm not going to double down on if it was Ahsoka because I'm not 100% sure. Right. But it happens first there, and then they reference it. I think Anakin in the book says something like, "I'll be a Marg Sable or whatever," and Thrawn's like, "What's that?" And he explains it to him, the maneuver of the ship. So technically, if that happens, if like what in the Legends book, that Thrawn book, which happens way after, he learned that from Anakin Skywalker, who learned it from Ahsoka, or however that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like technically, when that happened in the first Thrawn book that they wrote, I forgot what it was called, but you know where I'm going with this. Yep. So that was a cool thing. That happened.
It's a cool connection.
Catorsis metal, or the Catorsis weave, that's now canon again because that was left in Legends. They in the story, the cool thing about it is it happens on a planet on, was it Batu?
Yeah.
The part with Thrawn and Anakin happens on Batu, and the thing with Thrawn and Darth Vader also happens on Batu. So it's parallel timelines, the same thing. Also, like when it was during the Clone Wars, it was something personal for Anakin with Padme, but when it was with Darth Vader, it was personal for Thrawn. And Darth Vader was the one like, dude, you got to stay on a mission.
Yeah.
Where it was the
Which
other way
is-
around.
yeah.
When like Thrawn was like, Anakin, you got to stay on mission.
Yeah.
Right? So, the Darth Vader's Special Forces guy, the First Legion, those guys were kind of cool. I like those. They were kind of dickish. But I'm not sure, like, do they come from the 501st or...
I don't know if they specified, but
Because a Legion is really big.
You're right.
That's like, you got whole companies and of like, you got like squads, you got platoons, you got a company, you got a battalion, and then you got a legion and divisions and shit like that.
Yeah, Legion's like
So
everyone together basically going to do something.
legions
the
is
whole
like
thing.
battalions of armed.
Right.
Like, so I don't know what's up with that, but I'm guessing it's some kind. If they're not from the 501st, it's some kind of nod to the 501st. We've already talked about the Grisk, and the other thing is the third sight. So like in the Dark Times version with Thrawn and Vader, they're trying to save those female Chiss girls, kids who have first sight, where they navigate the Chiss ships through space using the Force, which is super awesome. And they maybe hint that Thrawn might have been one of them or something, but it's but that was another cool aspect of the book, and like that was a cool tension between Thrawn and Vader, because Vader was like, "Did you tell the Emperor about this? Is this, he was just like," and Thrawn kind of played it off like, "I just assumed the Emperor knew. He just knows everything anyway." Right? Like, I was just like, you sneaky fuck. That was good play. But overall, I definitely like this book. There was a lot of cool shit that happened in it. The only thing that ruined it for me was the Mark Thompson guy, because I've just been listening to him for years, and I've just had enough.
Yeah. I mean, when you read a book, you definitely read it as like the characters in the movies, if they're in the movies or in the shows or whatever.
You hear those voices in your head, definitely.
So then when someone like butchers it or not doesn't make it sound even close, it's like, oh man, come on. But yeah, I hear your pain already.
Yeah, I might actually have to start reading books again instead of listening to them.
I would. I just don't have
Star
fucking
Wars
time.
books.
It's a lot easier driving around for work and stuff like that, just listening and that's the time I have to read. So it works out.
I forgot there's this salesman guru. I can't remember his name, but he says if you have an Audible account, you have a university in your car.
Right.
And it's true. Like I think I got an Audible account in 2009, and I've literally listened to like hundreds and hundreds of books, everything from Plato to Harry Potter. It's enlightening.
Yep.
It's good shit. It's good
Search
shit.
whatever
And
you want and just
you can
download
kill time while you're fucking
exactly.
driving. It's awesome. Definitely. Audible is the way to go. And they're not paying us to do this, but they should. I wouldn't mind.
That would be fine.
All right.
Audible is cool. Also, they're not paying us either. But public libraries, you can get a friggin' card and get free Audible books from there, or ebooks, or obviously regular books.
The public library is an awesome fucking idea.
It's fucking sweet.
A lot of the shit you got on Audible is free at the library. So
it's a matter of, it's on hold sometimes. You might have to wait a week or something to get it, but
still free.
It's essentially free, so who gives a shit, you know what I mean? And you're going to get a book that you might not go back to anyway, so it's not, no risk, no reward sort of thing. And if the book's older, usually there's no hold on it. So it's, you just go crazy with it.
Yeah, it's awesome. That about wraps it up. So would you recommend to other people to go buy this book or go get it from the
definitely.
library?
This book and the other Thrawn book. I mean,
I read the other one first. Obviously.
Well, I read way back when I read the other Thrawn, the trilogy, which I don't really remember much of, to be honest. Now they haven't gone back. And then when they brought him back, that was one of the people I was most pissed about, that them saying it wasn't canon anymore when Disney bought them.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
without a doubt, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, what the fuck? So when they brought him back in Rebels, like, this is fucking awesome. And then they portrayed him very well in Rebels as well.
Did such a good job.
I was like, okay, now I want to read these two books, or one book at a time, and then two books. So it was just like, why not?
Yeah.
See Rebels, but of course we fucking pushed out. Marketing Rebels.
If we do more of these book reviews, we should create some kind of ranking system and
the Geekin Out friggin' ranking system.
Yeah. how many from like 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I would say this is maybe 7 or 8 for me. This is
that's
for
fair.
Star Wars books.
Yeah.
This is pretty good.
I mean, it all depends, of course, on what you like Thrawn and the intricacies of that. Some people just like the main couple characters and that's it. But
I'm just going
their
on
own.
like Star Wars books. I'm not like talking about like Wuthering Heights or fucking War and Peace. Scale 1 to 10. As far as Star Wars books go, this is definitely a 7 or 8. This is a great Star Wars book.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. All right.
So now we're doing some book reviews, mostly Star Wars, maybe other ones as well. If you guys have any ideas or you just read a book and want to hear a review about it, please feel free to contact us on any social media, email, go to our website. You can contact us there as well. So that's pretty much it for the review.
Geekin' out.
Geekin' out. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever you're doing. You guys have a good one.